Hey everybody, Jason Ricci here, and today we're going to be doing part 3 of overblows in the blues. So if you're just tuning in, there's a part 1 talking about the 6 overblow and a part 2 talking about the 4-hole overblow. We talk about some ways in those other videos of mixing in those notes into the blues, what they are, how they work over a 1-4-5 chord change, stuff like that. Today we're talking about the 5-hole overblow. Jumping right in, the first thing that we can do learning this overblow is identify what note it is on the bottom octave. The major 7, right? The 2-hole half-step bend. That note right there. It's the half-step bend on the 2-draw. The first thing that we can do with this note is start using it the way that Little Walter did in the first octave, except on the second octave. One of the things that Little Walter would do is, oftentimes when he was on his way up to the 2-draw, he would play the major 7 or the 2-draw half-step bend on the way up. And oftentimes also when he was on his way down to the 2-draw double bend, the flat 7, he would play the half step on the way down. Right, so it was just a passing note. One of the things we can do is start moving that work from the first octave to the second octave. Off the top of my head, the bass line for Born in Chicago. Right? So there's like, you can just start taking licks that you're already doing using the 2-draw half-step bend, and then just start using the overblow so that you understand like how it works, what it does, how it's the same as the 2-draw half-step bend. Like a lot of times we hear Little Walter will play at the, particularly on the last 2 beats or the last beat of bar 4 on a 12-bar blues, he'll wander down to the flat 7 to create tension moving into the 4 chord, and he'll do that by playing a flat 7. But before he actually hits the flat 7, he'll walk down, so it might be something like... right there. So it's the same thing as. So that's just one way to do it. You can start getting chromaticism in your playing with bends and overblows just by using these notes as passing tones. You know, the term tone is ambiguous, right? It's not important. It's not like a passing note, right? It's a passing tone. It's a tone on the way to a note, right? It's not important. It's just something that you do. If we look at Thelonious Monk's song, Blue Monk, it's just another way to climb up on the second octave. So it gives you some chromaticism in your playing. And you can just start moving your licks from the bottom octave to the second octave using the 5 overblow. Right? So, you know, 6 overblow, 6 blow, 5 overblow, 5 draw. Just as a passing note. So that's basically how to use it on the 1 chord. You know, by this time now, part 3, you've learned the 4 overblow, the 5 overblow, the 6 overblow, right? So we might as well learn a chromatic scale. There's a 4 overblow. There's a 5 overblow. There's a 6 overblow. So here's the whole scale. Now that you can do 4 overblow, 5 overblow, and 6 overblow, one of the first things you can learn to do is this chromatic scale. And then you can start doing chromatic scale exercises. You know, and then from there you can put in all the chromatic licks that you want. So let's address the blues 1 chord at a time. So we've really already taken care of the first chord. It's a passing tone that you can use on the way up to something, on the way down to something, right? When we get to the 4 chord, that note shifts and it takes on a different role, okay? It becomes the flat 5 of 4. So if we look at the 4 chord, the first thing that we can do is like look at a blues scale in C, right? Because we're in the key of G. So G is the 1. So I'm going to go G, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. C chord. And I'm in second position. So I'm holding in my hand a C harmonica, right? It happens to be a Blue Moon Marine Band. I can look at that as first position, and I learn a blues scale in first position. And we did this last week with the 4 overblow. The 5 overblow becomes the flat 5 of that chord of C. Here's a blues scale on C. Blues scale in C. So one of the things I can do is just use it that way. I can look at the 4 chord and look at it as, oh, this is the flat 5 of 4. So on the 1 chord, I could be soloing. One chord, 4. 5 chord, I don't need it. I don't need any overblows. Just played a blues scale in 3rd position. So I can take licks and move them. Anything that has a flat 5 on the 1 chord, I can now do on the 4. I'm just moving ideas from one chord to the other, treating the C, the 4 chord, as a modulation. Where is the same note as the 4-draw bend on the 1 chord? Where is that note on the 4 chord? Cool. So that's one of the ways that I use it on the 4 chord. Keep in mind, you can also use it on the 4 chord without even thinking about it being a flat 5. Just the same way we were using it on the 1 chord, just as a passing tone, right? Just on the way down to something else you want to hit, on the way up, just adds a little jazzy chromaticism to your playing. It's very, very cool. Moving to the 5 chord, the note takes on a little bit more value. A couple of people mentioned in the comments section about Adam Gusso's song, Funky Thing. What he's doing is using it as that very important major third. So if, like, we listen to a shuffle blues, that's the 1. So that major third on the 1 is 3 draw. And that major third on the 4 is 2 blow. Right? On the 5, that major third is the 2-draw half-step bend. Learning that note allows you to play that in the 2nd octave. The other thing you can do too is, just throw in a nice major third, one of the licks that a lot of guys copy that I do. It's kind of a Gusso-y lick. It's a little 5 chord lick, so I'm going 6 draw bend, 6 draw, 5 draw, playing the flat third, then raising it up to the 5 overblow, the major third of 5, and then down to 4 draw the root. So I'm just using it the same way I use a major third on the 1 chord. One, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. So you just learn to identify it as a major third. Now, one of the easiest ways to do this on the 5 chord is learn like a major triad arpeggio on 1, 4, and 5. So 1, 1, 2 draw, 3 draw, 4 draw, 4, the 4 chord, C, 4 blow, 5 blow, 6 blow. And then the 5 chord, it's a little harder with the overblow, but it's cool. 4 draw, 5 overblow, 6 draw. So here it is. One of the most important things you can do with a 5 overblow, maybe before you even learn a chromatic scale, is just learn where it is as a major scale. So it enables you to play a major scale in second position. So once you learn that, well, you'd be able to play like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you know, in second instead of in 12 in any position. Very useful. Or recently, Rob Paparosi was demonstrating the 5 overblow in Work Song. You can just start soloing really, really pretty using that major 7 just on any song that's in a major key. You got that note there, and you can use it to just play pretty over a major chord. Now, you can do that on the 1 chord of a blues too, right? You know, so like I was saying earlier, it's not really a note that you would hear often in blues, but if you wanted to get shamelessly beautiful over a 1 chord, so you can still use this note as part of the major scale in a blues. It's just going to be really, really pretty. Okay, take for example like a rumba. I got this song, I'm Just a Playboy. I used like the major scale of all 3 chords to solo over a blues, right? A Playboy that was built on a major triad. So I would take like a scale exercise, like major scale, cross harp, second position. And then when I went to the 4 chord, I would do a major scale, first position lick. And then 1 chord. Five chord. So I could just kind of solo over a rumba. Let me see if I can find a rumba. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a major scale in second position on the 1 chord. So I'll be improvising with this scale here. Right, and I'll be doing some little scale exercises and licks like. And then when we move to the 4 chord, I'll do the same thing with the C major scale or a first position major scale. When we get to the 5 chord, it's only 4 beats, so I'll do a little bit of third position major. And this is what it'll sound like. Hopefully good. Here we go. So in conclusion, you got your 1 chord, you can use it as a passing note. On your 4 chord, you can use it as part of the blues scale, okay? Or you can recognize that it's a flat 5 of the 4 chord, use it that way. On the 5 chord, you get your major third of 1, right? So basically what we've learned through these overblow series of 4 overblow, the 5 overblow, the 6 overblow, is how to create the same motifs that we do on each chord, treating each chord as a key change. Recognizing that even though we're starting in second position, that I can play the same scale in first position or the 4 chord, and the same scale in third position or the 5 chord. I'm treating each chord in second position as its own position. 1 chord, second position, 4 chord, first position, 5 chord, third position. All right, hope you had a great time. Hope some of this stuff's starting to make sense. If not, hey, just keep working at it. The pause button here is your friend, right? And hey guys, let me tell you something too, right? You notice some of these jump edits, right? Like places where I'm about to play and then you see me in a different position, right? That's because I messed it up, right? So like, I'm messing it up. This is hard stuff, okay? We're gonna do a video on the 7 overdraw, right? Maybe a video on the 9 overdraw later, but we're gonna take a little break after this. This is the end of a 3-part series. I'll get to the 7 overdraw. I'll get to the 9 overdraw. We'll talk about using these overblows in other positions, but we kind of already have, okay? If you're paying really close attention, we kind of already have. But next week, I'm gonna bring it back to some simple stuff, how to play 1 lick and make it work over any chord or over just 1 chord. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Stay tuned for the credits. All right, welcome to the least important part of the video for you and the most important part of the video for me, the shout outs. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, if you like these free harmonica videos and you want to keep them coming, one of the most important things you can do right now is click the subscribe button. Subscribe today for hundreds and hundreds of free harmonica lessons, product reviews, bipolar videos, me talking about addiction and all the kinds of messed up stuff that I've been through. It's all here for you. It's all free. If you'd like to keep them coming, if you want to keep me motivated, right? It's an incredible thing for us YouTubers. It's called Patreon. For $1 a month, that's like a minimal contribution. You can put in whatever you want, but $1 a month helps a lot. That guarantees you 4 free harmonica videos a month. I promise I will make you an instructional video every single Friday. There'll be other videos will be extra. If there's a product review, that will be extra. Free instructional video every single Friday, no matter what, ladies and gentlemen. So $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you can afford, visit me on Patreon. The links are below. That helps a ton. If you can't afford $1 a month, that's okay, right? Somebody else that's contributing $1, they're helping you. It takes hours to edit these YouTube videos. I'm not too sharp on the electronics. I'm getting better, right? But that takes away from time that I'm teaching, but I want to keep these videos coming, and I'm not going to lie, Patreon motivates me a ton. The other thing that motivates me, my sponsors. Check them out. Blue Moon Harmonicas. Tom Halchak at Blue Moon Harmonicas, making the best custom covers. Look, I got these like American flag covers right here. You got custom combs like the one I was using in this video. This is a marine band with a Korean comb, right? That's from Blue Moon, Tom Halchak. My microphone that I'm using, the Jason Ricci signature microphone. It's a lot like a 57, except it's easier to hold. It's made for harmonica players. It's got a volume control on it right there. You can get it with an XLR, or you can get it with a 1/4 inch. I use Lone Wolf pedals. I use them because I want 1 amp. I can play that amp in a coffee shop, or I can play it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you haven't seen that, check that video out. Harp Gear amplifiers. Harp Gear amplifiers out of Ocala, Florida. That's Brian Purdy, the very best in tube amplifiers from Harp Gear. Check me out on Patreon. Visit my sponsors, Blue Moon, Lone Wolf, Harp Gear. All of these links are below. Go ahead and click on them. Also, I got a website, www.mooncat.org. All of my CDs, t-shirts are available on the website. Tour dates when we're not in the middle of a global pandemic. I'm all over the world playing harmonica with all different kinds of people. I appreciate you guys so much. See you next week with a new lesson. Appreciate it.
Sitting at the bar, drinking gin.